morning, everyone. How you feeling today? Do you feel good? I feel good. Let's feel good together. Let's celebrate today. Welcome to Unity of Tucson. I'm Dr. Jonathan Zenz. I am the senior minister here. And what a delight it is to share this time with you. We're going to kick it off with this glorious song, this Joshua Radin song that I just love. You want to lead us off, Aaron?
I would love to. Gonna wash the dust off my soul. Gonna listen to some rock and roll. No cares, come what may, I'm making it a beautiful day.
Are you making it a beautiful day? It's up to you. I'm gonna drive my car to the sea. Swim out far, 'cause I believe that the waves will wash the gray away. I'm making it a beautiful day. Let me hear you say, oh, oh, my, my. I'm learning to fly. Hey, hey, what's that you're saying? Let's not forget we're alive.
Gonna climb that hill beside my house. See what this place is all about. 'Cause from above it all you can't help but say it's gonna be a beautiful day. It's gonna be a beautiful day. Let me hear you say, oh, oh, my, my. I'm learning to fly. Hey, hey, what's that you're saying? Let's not forget we're alive. Speaking of being alive, I would love for us to liven up and say hello to our friends and neighbors all around us, and perhaps reach out and say hi to somebody that you've never said hi to before. Hello! Gonna turn my enemies into friends. What's broken gets stronger when it mends. When we all come together, this song will play. We'll sing, it's a beautiful day. And it's gonna be a beautiful day. Oh, oh, my, my. I'm learning to fly. Hey, hey, what's that you're saying? Let's not forget we're alive. It's gonna be a beautiful day. It's gonna be a beautiful day. It's gonna be a beautiful day. You know what? Let's make it a beautiful day. Let's make it a beautiful day. Yes, we will. You know, I'm kind of sad because we've now come to the last Sunday of the month, and this song probably won't come back in the rotation for a year. But if you really like it, you can always make special requests. Watch it again on live stream, on the archive of our video, yes. Once again, welcome to Unity of Tucson. As I said before, I'm Dr. Jonathan Zenz. I am the senior minister here at this glorious spiritual center that we have collectively decided to enjoy. And I am so excited every Sunday morning. Have you ever noticed that? I get really excited. What do I get excited about? I get excited about living this thing called life, about living it to the fullest, and about really celebrating love, which is what we're all about here. We're really all about celebrating love, living love, being love. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in my message today. And I also want to be very clear, as I say every single week, you may not believe everything you hear today. Right? Yeah. Do you believe everything you hear everywhere you go? Well, then why would this place be any different? What I think, though, is that, we have a set of we have a doctrine, we have a set of tenets that we teach here at Unity of Tucson, and the encouragement is to check in with your belief system to see what works for you and what doesn't, because as the master teacher Jesus said, it is done unto you as you believe. And so our beliefs are creating our experience. So if something butts up against your belief system here today, don't go, oh, I can't believe that butts up against my belief system. No, just say, wow, that butts up against my belief system. Maybe there's something I should look at there. And then be willing to go on the exploration. One of the benefits of this philosophy for me is that it invites us to question everything. And so that's how I spend my days, questioning everything, much to the chagrin of my staff. We also have a vision and a mission here at Unity of Tucson, and I would love for us to share out loud together, collectively, the words of our vision statement first. Let's say this. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. And that is how we choose to see the world. The mission is steps. The mission are steps that we can take to see that vision through. So let's state these words of our mission statement together. Here we go. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Just take that in for a moment, because we say it kind of by rote now, but I'm just going to invite you to really consider what those words mean to you and the feeling that comes up for you around those words. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Just deepen into an awareness of what that feels like for you. And let's not judge any of the feelings around it. Just open up in awareness. I want to extend a welcome to anyone who may be joining us for the first time. First, let me acknowledge anyone who may be joining us for the first time through our live stream, or if you're watching on the video archive later in the week. It's such a delight to have you join us, and I'm so grateful that we get to make this connection and continue this connection. We'd love to connect more, so if you are willing to go to unitytucson.com/connect and fill out some information there, we will keep the conversation rolling. If you are here with us in the room for the first time, if you are comfortable with identifying yourself, we would love to welcome you as a community. So if you stand up or wave your hand and let us know that you are here for the first time, is there anyone for whom that applies? Welcome, grateful to have you here, welcome. Grateful, grateful, grateful. And there is something that we would like to share with you. Shall we let them know what it is we know? On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. You are magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. Thank you for shining your light, sharing your magnificence. If you did not receive a gift on your way in, there is a gift for you at the table in our lobby when the celebration is complete here today. Now, we know your magnificence because one of the tenets that we hold firm in our doctrine here is that the people we encounter in our lives are reflections of who we are. And so I believe, note I didn't say we believe, I said I believe that you are here as a reflection of something that is in me. And I believe that probably everyone here on some level understands that. So, your magnificence, I think, is a reflection of my magnificence, and I think we as a community should affirm our magnificence collectively by saying these words. I am magnificent. That was really good. Can we all match that? Let's do that again. I am magnificent. Yes, yes, yes. That's the kind of energy. Yes. We also celebrate all traditions, all faith philosophies, all religions here at Unity of Tucson, with the understanding that each and every one of them is pointing to a divine presence, a holy presence that is reflected in the golden thread, a divine thread of love. And so we have adopted this ceremony here, lighting the flames of faith. And each week, our keepers of the flames join us to guide us through the ceremony. Are you ready? You're taking the paper. I thought you weren't going to use the paper.
This is my backup.
Oh, this is the backup. Okay.
We haven't done this before.
We haven't done it like this before.
I want to be sure this
so
is
please
right.
welcome today to guide us through the ceremony, Laura Cass and Mary Alls.
I couldn't imagine why you were looking at me so funny. Yeah, he's like, what? I thought we were going to do it that way. Okay. Okay, where'd that all take me? Before I read this. This morning, as I was having my first cup of coffee and just sort of skimming the news on my phone, which is a really bad thing to do. I mean, there was just, about the poor people in Haiti, something else happening, and I was like, it's like the whole world needs a blessing. And then I remember someone here in our community has a bumper sticker, and we probably used to sell them. It says, Unity of Tucson, and then, God bless everyone, no exceptions. Why don't we just say that together? God bless everyone, no exceptions. Love that. Thank you. All right, okay. I thought, who is that person out there? I've seen it. Wonderful. Well, it's pretty amazing, I think. Okay. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning.
Yeah. So first of all, we light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to divine love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. And we light a candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And we light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them, and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. The final candle is the healing candle. It represents the revealing of the divinity at the core of all experiences. This is your candle for whatever is in your mind and heart that requires the light.
This candle here, as you know, is our peace candle, which we keep consistently illuminated as a reflection and a metaphor for the consistent illumination of peace in our own hearts. And as we allow our inner peace to inform our deeds, intentions, actions, thoughts, beliefs, that right where we are, each and every one of us, is creating a more peaceful world. And so let's honor this understanding in this candle, and let's honor peace by stating out loud together this prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace reigns in the world. Indeed it does. I believe that our glorious Keeper of the Flames has more to offer us today because Laura is also our prayer chaplain on duty here today, guiding us through a reading in our monthly affirmation and also guiding us in affirmative prayer. So please welcome Laura Cass.
So I just keep popping up all over the place, don't I? There she is again. Okay. So I'm in this book club. Every Friday we meet by Zoom, and we have just finished reading the most wonderful book. Are you familiar with Dr. Gladys McGarry? Yeah. Well, she has just published a book. It was just in May. She has published a book called The Well-Lived Life, a 102-year-old doctor's 6 secrets to health and happiness at every age. She's 102 and lives up in the Scottsdale area where she has been for about 60 years. Gladys was born in India. Her parents were medical missionaries and came back to the U.S., I guess, when she was about 14, 15. But she's known as the mother of holistic medicine. And she's also a full MD, which she practiced during World War II. So she has been up in Scottsdale with this. In fact, there's a woman in our book club who had her first baby delivered by Dr. Gladys. She has delivered so many babies. She is now delivering the grandchildren of, back here, grandchild of someone else that she delivered. So she's quite a remarkable woman. She just quit driving at 99, which she decided on herself that was a good idea. So I don't know how anyone else felt about that, but the motor vehicle department didn't seem to care. So that's all okay. So what her book is about, it's in 6 sections. And just because it's written by a woman, guys, you can read it because it pertains to everybody, all right? Don't let that turn you off. So the first section is all about finding your juice. Have you ever been that place in your life where you just I don't quite have it today, or what's wrong with me, or I can't seem to get things going? And so it's all about finding your juice. And then at the end of these sections, each one of them, there's exercises, which are easy to do. You can do it by yourself. You can do it with a group of other people. So she takes you through the whole process of finding your juice. There's a lot of moving around, and we're dancing and that kind of thing. And the last section is about spending your energy wildly, not wisely, wildly. So, yes. So this is a woman who doesn't let anything stop her. In fact, at the end of the book, she shares that she is now working on her 10-year plan. So, can we be more optimistic, really? And she's doing medical consulting, so she hasn't quit working. But the point of all this is that the whole book is all about not only ourselves and how we have this energy, how we get this juice, but we're doing this because we're connecting with each other. And this whole idea of connection, one to another, and realizing that we are all a part of the whole, and that connectivity is what is so crucial. That's everybody in this whole room. So I'd like to just read to you what Gladys says. Dr. Gladys says about that. On a fundamental level, we're all connected. It's easy to forget this and see ourselves as separate beings. After all, I'm me, wrapped in my own skin, and there you are, wrapped in yours. Yet we are social creatures, and we depend on one another to survive. No matter how hard we try to separate ourselves, we are part of a community. We're part of a family, a culture, a country, a continent, a species. We connect through shared experience and shared genes. We literally share the air we breathe. I think I've heard that before. Yeah. So we may be separate beings, but we're one community. We have a collective life force. Just as our individual life force requires tending, this collective life force does also. So all of that brings together our wholeness, which is the ending of our affirmation for this month, I believe, isn't it? Well, if I could find it. But you all know what it is. I think it's right behind me, isn't it?
It's on the screen.
Oh, can I read it on? Is it on this screen? Yes, it's on this screen. Oh my God, my name's even up there. Okay, do it with me. My inherent nature is infinite wholeness, no matter what. It's just no matter what. I think that was good. Okay, we're done.
The song somehow feels inappropriate now, but it's okay. I'm going to invite us all to take in this glorious, joyful energy and not distill it, but just open up to a deeper awareness of it as we enjoy it in this moment of stillness. Just relax right where we are. We're going to take these words from Psalm 46:10 and sing them out loud. Reveling in the joy.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know.
And I know from the very depth of my being, throughout my whole system, tendons, muscles, everything, bone structure, I know that I am God. I know that we all are. We live in this place together, all of us as one community, because we know that this is all in divine order, our being here together, celebrating together, loving one another, and absolutely knowing that we depend on one another for the very breath that we take, for the air that we breathe, for everything brought to us, whether it's on our dinner table, out there in nature, whatever it may be, we are all connected. It's that one thread, and every one of us is holding the other person and many, many other people up in this divineness that we share.
So it is. Amen. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know. Still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and know.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you.
Rated today is because early Thursday morning I am going to Finland for 2 weeks. And so my mind is kind of there.
I don't, if you remember, like the 2 months leading up to my sabbatical, kind of where my mind was.
Yes, that's right.
May you have a blessed and joyous journey
Thank you,
to
thank
Finland.
you. I'll send you a picture of me with a reindeer.
Please do. Wow. We have such a treat, and it is always a treat when this man comes and joins us and provides our featured song of the day, a man who I hold very dear in my heart, and I'm so grateful that he is here today. Please welcome with our featured song today, Armin Dertadian. Armin Dertadian! Thank you so much, friend. Two songs I adore. Take a moment, just take a moment, and I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, if that's comfortable for you, if you feel safe closing your eyes. Go ahead and close your eyes. Just take an opportunity to relax right where you are. allow yourself to bring to mind something that is joyful. Something that is joyful for you. Just allow yourself to resonate with whatever that is for you. And now I'm going to tell you, all across this room, what I have observed is each and every one of you has raised your face value. Because there are so many smiles. There are so many smiles. Do you remember you can open your eyes now. Or not. Do you remember it was first a play that became a movie called Steel Magnolias? And there's the character Truvy, played by Dolly Parton, has a line in there, and she says, "Smile, it increases your face value." I love that. I love that idea. And I'll tell you, when I knew that this was the song that Armin was going to sing this week, and then I inevitably have Tyler come to me and ask, "So what's your talk title going to be?" Oh, I have to come up with another talk title? I just said, I have no idea. I said, face value, make it up. Like, make up what you think that means and then put that out to the world, and I'll figure it out on my end. But I think it's important that we remember that just the very activity of finding that embodied joy, and allowing that to bring the smile to our faces, it is a magnificent expression of our inherent value, which is not contingent upon anything out there. You notice I said, bring to your own mind something that is joyful. I wasn't saying, think about that over there and see if you can derive joy from it. It's all an inside job, all of it. So as I consider it all the time, I consider what am I thinking about? What am I going to speak on this week? And I thought I would start with this question. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? No, really, I really want to know. What are we doing here? Say that again? Hanging out with friends. That's great. What are we doing here? Coming home. I heard celebrating. Feeling good. It's Potluck Sunday. So then let me rephrase it perhaps a little bit. What is the goal of Unity or New Thought? It might be potluck. Loving. Joy. Peace. Truth. Purpose. You know what? Perfect. You just said the word. You've just said the word. Because oftentimes we approach our lives, we approach things in our lives, and we're taught this, especially if you're in the business world. What's one of the things that you're taught? You have to set goals, right? And so even in Unity of Tucson, a New Thought Spiritual Center, which is a business, by the way, sometimes we talk in the terms of goals. What do we want to accomplish? What is the thing? How are we going to get there? And I think that it's time to reframe a little bit and let go of the goals, because the goals are going to be inevitable if we are truly exploring our purpose. That what comes through is going to be illuminated guideposts, which is all goals are, illuminated guideposts, if we are truly living our purpose. Charles Fillmore said this about purpose. Purpose gives joy and zest to living. That's what I think we're doing here. And so what is the difference? I'm going to continue to talk a little bit about the difference between a goal and a purpose. A goal is an outer focus on the doing of life. And a purpose is an inner reason, the being. Why do we be? Why do we be? When I was towards the end of my sabbatical, back in June, I went to Southern California for a week, and I participated in the ministerial intensives for a group of ministerial candidates. I think there were 13 ministerial candidates who were all there to go through their oral panels and be given, like I have a magic wand, like, you're a minister now, if they pass their panel. I mean, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And while I was there, part of the experience of the intensive is for them to showcase their skill as ministers and what they've been trained to do through the many, many years of training that they have taken to come to this point. It is the final point before they are licensed for the first time in ministry. And one of the constant refrains that came up at this particular intensive, and I've gone to and participated in many intensives, including my own, which was terrifying when I went through that on my own. But this refrain kept coming up. And we all shared this. We say, be love. We don't say, do love. We say, be happy. We don't say, do happy. That's the difference between a goal and a purpose. If we are being the love, if we are being the joy, if we are being the light, if we are being the happiness, if we are being these attributes of the divine, which are inherent, then the doing flows forth easily and effortlessly without us having to try to make it happen. Because oftentimes what happens is we set these goals and we're like, we've got to make that happen. I guarantee you it happens if you are rooted in the beingness. And so, yeah, that was a constant refrain. And so there's a musician who was part of that experience. Amy Steinberg was there that week, and we do some of her music here, and I'm at some point, she lives in North Carolina, so at some point I will invite her to come and join us on a Sunday. If you know who Amy Steinberg is, you're probably excited about that. If you don't know who Amy Steinberg is, get excited about that. Because I'm still waiting for her to write the song, because she was there. We say, be happy, not do happy. And I think she could write that song, and it would be brilliant. So how do we be? How do we be in a world full of do? It's going to be one of those Sundays, isn't it? Mary says, just show up. Just show up. Show up in what manner?
Happy.
Happy, yes, because I'll tell you, I could just show up. Do you want me to show up like this? That could be me showing up. Some days, Sherry's seen it, some days I do show up like that. Anyone ever wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Anyone never wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Okay, because I was going to say, if you've never woken up on the wrong side of the bed, please join me here and offer the message this week. I think you're absolutely right. We decide to be happy. It's a decision, and nobody ever thinks, oh, it's like, well, if it's a decision, how do I make that decision? You know what? You just decide. You just decide. I decide to live my life from the point of view of happiness, to know that I am bringing the happiness to every experience. I'm not deriving the happiness from every experience. But we're taught so frequently to try to derive the happiness, to squeeze that rock and get the happiness out of it so that we can experience it. What if we decided to be the happiness and just experience it? What a different life that might be. So, part of what I wanted to do today is, glasses are coming off, is invite us into a reframe with some particular questions. Questions are these. Who made your life easier this week? This past week, just reflect. Who made your life easier this week? And whose life did you make easier this week? Who helped you this week? And whom did you help this week? And who made you happy this week? And whom did you make happy this week? I think if you think about it, if you can identify a person who made you happy, remember I said you can't derive it from outside the self. The person that you might say, oh, they made me so happy this week. If you understand it, you're seeing a reflection of yourself in them that is tapping into something within you. And so the reframe is really this. It's not about you and them. What if we change those concepts of goals and instead focus on the impact we may have in this world? When I was walking the Camino, and it's funny because for months I didn't really talk about it, and now I'm kind of, it's really starting to resonate, and some of the illuminations are coming up for me now. And I thought I had an idea that might happen. I might have to, sit and reflect on it for a while, the experience of walking 500 miles. When I walked the Camino, one of the aspects of the Camino is that's your only purpose, is to walk. That's what I decided my only purpose was to walk. And so for 34 days, I walked. And I didn't worry about trying to derive an experience out of it. I was being the experience. And what I also discovered is that because there was a community, a common unity of pilgrims joined together in a common purpose, that it wasn't about the goal of getting to Santiago. It was about living the experience moment to moment and finding the impact that we all had on each other and really deepening into a sensation of what that impact meant. I didn't derive happiness out of the experience. I brought my happiness to the experience. And I found that to be true of so many of the pilgrims around me in that experience. In New Thought, we claim to be students of, you ready for a word, two words that if you really think about it almost means nothing? We claim to be students of spiritual truth. What does spiritual truth mean? I mean, if you really think about it, it's kind of a non-phrase. What does spiritual truth mean? Well, you have to define the constructs of truth and of spirit to understand spiritual truth. And so it's inconsistent what you might hear spiritual truth is. Why is it inconsistent? Because there are as many definitions of spiritual truth as there are people existing in this universe. And I'm not limiting it to just this planet. I don't know what's out there. It's pretty vast. So I'm going to provide a definition without claiming that it is the right definition for all people, but it is right for me at this point of my spiritual journey. Spiritual truth is anything that unlimits me. Spiritual truth is anything that unlimits me. That's how I choose to understand spiritual truth. And yet, what ends up happening is as I try to prove spiritual truth, I begin to create limitations all around myself. And those limitations box me in. And so it is a constant cycle of building up, finding the limitations, breaking them all down again. Building up, finding the limitations, breaking them all down again. You know, the problem with religion is it thinks it has all the answers, which is why I prefer a spiritual center over the concept of a church because of what it brings to mind for many people. In a spiritual center, we are guided in a journey of uncovering, of questioning, of wondering, of going on the exploration and knowing that it never ends and reveling in that journey. And so if you find yourself in limitation today because of a construct that you have built, perhaps consider saying, I'm going to go on an exploration by knocking those walls down and see something else, experience something new. Maybe it's as simple as taking a different route on the way home today. starting with simplicity. But we hold on to limitation. We hold on to it. So many of us hold on to it. Why? Well, here's the thing. Limitation makes us feel comfortable. It's like that blanket, right? It keeps us cozy and warm. We wear that limitation like a blanket. And here's the other thing about limitation. If we are limited, it gives us something to overcome. Something to prove in this world. Look at the limitations I've had all around me. How do I now overcome those limitations? What if you got rid of all of it? What if you broke down all the barriers? What would happen if we eliminated limitation altogether? Because limitation is nothing more than a construct in mind. That's it. There's nothing out there that is limiting any one of us, except to the degree that we have adopted the concept of limitation in our own minds. It's the only thing that limits us, our own mind. Oh my gosh, you mean I have to think about this stuff? I have to review and question this stuff? Yes, that's the call. That's why we are here. To go on that exploration, each and every one of us, into uncovering what spiritual truth is for each and every one of us. And you don't have to agree with me that spiritual truth is anything that unlimits me. What is spiritual truth for you? Seriously consider what your life would be like without limitation. What would it feel like to know that you were without limits? It feels pretty good to me. Kind of get excited by that. Like, what a fun life it would be to not have limits of how you think you should present yourself so that people will understand you in a particular way. That's a big limitation for me. I struggle with that all the time. How am I being perceived by everyone around me? And there are ways in which perhaps I would like to express myself that I stop myself and say, oh, I can't do that because then people are going to think something different about me. But that's me buying into other people's opinions and limitations. I don't know really what that means. I don't know that it means I'm going to express any differently right in this moment. But I might. You're all waiting. You're like, what's he going to do? I don't know. I'm just on the journey right now. Here's the thing about limitation. It does only one thing. It holds us back. It holds us back from what? I'm glad you asked. I think ultimately the primary thing it holds us back from is living our passion. That's what limitation does. It keeps our dreams at bay. It keeps us from accepting the truth of our inherent power. That's what limitation does. And when we overcome sometimes those limitations in mind, and we have this epiphany, and it shows up in the world of form and an experience in an unexpected way, we call it a miracle. We call it a miracle when we experience glimpses of the alternative to the limitations we've placed in our own mind. St. Augustine, who is a 4th century theologian, St. Augustine suggested this, that miracles are reminders of the bounds imposed on the mind by habit. I'm going to say that again. Miracles are reminders of the bounds imposed on the mind by habit. That means when we see miracles or we experience miracles, it is a reminder to us that we have been limited in our own mind and that we are in a habit of that same limitation. Because we are perceiving something that is probably quite ordinary or could be considered quite ordinary through the lens of limitation. If we didn't have the limitation, it would seem perfectly ordinary, wouldn't it? He also relates miracles with speed. What does that mean? We take for granted, this is the quote, we take for granted the slow miracle by which water in the irrigation of a vineyard becomes wine. It is only when Christ turns water into wine in quick motion that we are amazed. If we start to look around, we see miracles in everything. And if we begin to understand miracles as ordinary, what a life, because that is a life free of limitation. We tend to purposefully separate ourselves from the construct of the miraculous. We look at experiences in the physical world to determine our good, and that holds miracles at bay from our experience. We seek outside the self rather than within. And this philosophy, the core of this philosophy, the New Thought philosophy, is simple. But boy, we like to really complicate it, don't we? We teach 18,000 different classes. We come to service, and I say it 52 different ways every single year. And ultimately, what this philosophy speaks to is this idea: it's done unto you as you believe. That's it. That's the whole philosophy. It is done unto you as you believe. And it's reflected in faith traditions across the board. Buddha is purported to have said, "What you think, you become." Do you believe that? Yes. And the rest of you? Rooted in that proposition, it is done unto you as you believe, is that who you are, the core of who you are, is the infinite self. The infinite self. There is no aspect of you which is not an expression of the infinite divine power and presence that we call God. And that's just a word. You can call it love, you can call it universal spirit, you can call it harmony, you can call it whatever you want. You are that power, you are that presence, you are the light, you are the life, you are the joy, you are the happiness. We do a lot of convincing ourselves otherwise, don't we? When I was studying to become the spiritual paragon you see before you, I'm joking. When I was studying, I had a roommate for a while who was also on the path. He was not intending to go all the way through to ministry, but he was in the spiritual study. And we would joke with each other. And we would joke with each other in the frame of, there was a sketch on Saturday Night Live. And you may or may not know it, but there was a sketch on Saturday Night Live many years ago, and it was Seth Meyers and Amy Poehler when they used to do Weekend Update. And they do a segment on Weekend Update called, "Really?" And the whole point of view of the sketch was to ask that question around some of these things. So my roommate and I we would walk around the apartment and be doing things at home, and we would say something along the lines of, "Really? You think you're not God? You think you're separate? Really?" And it was a great reminder that even in the mundane experiences of life, we are still wholly divine. And to understand that and live that and express our divinity in every experience, to bring to the experience the understanding of who we are, not try to derive our definition of ourself from the experience. So, how does this all relate? I go back to my initial question. What are we doing here? You've all answered the question. I think I've answered the question because we're here to be. That's really what it is. We're here to be. To increase our face value by understanding the truth of who we are. Be love, be light, be life. Despite the uncertainty and paradoxical experiences or the appearance of uncertainty or paradoxical experiences, be love, be light, be life. We are not defined by our experiences. Release the rigid rules, regulations, and rituals that don't serve, and embrace a way of life that invites us to be rather than do, to be rather than do. Do. Peace and blessings. You are magnificent. So I am going to offer this as homework this week, and if you are new to our community, I give homework every week as a way of making this philosophy practical in our experience. It's lovely to come here on a Sunday and feel good, isn't it? Yes. Yes. And I want you to take this goodness into the world and actually put it into practice in your life. So I invite you into this practice this week. Do something or many things this week that makes the lives of others easier. To celebrate or honor in some way those who make your life easier. Ultimately, this is the homework. Be the miracle in someone else's and your own perception. I invite you to relax right where you are. Bring to mind and let it drop into heart any kernel of truth that has resonated here for you today. Just let that be present without opinion or judgment, without calling it right, wrong, good, or bad. Just allow an awareness.
Embrace the stillness.
Embrace the stillness.
Embrace the breath.
Embrace the breath.
Embrace the spirit.
Embrace the spirit of love.
Embrace the stillness.
Embrace the stillness.
Embrace the love.
Embrace the light.
Embrace the power.
Embrace the power
I invite you into this moment of prayer with me. This movement of consciousness for a particular purpose. That's all prayer is, a movement of consciousness. And it begins with this understanding that I choose to hold firm in my own heart that there is only one infinite power and presence. There is only one creative source. There is only one flow. There is only one wholeness. There is only one. There is God and nothing else. God known by many names, universal presence, spiritual source, energy, light, life, love. This is the only thing that exists, and this is who and what we are, for we cannot be separate from the only thing that exists. We cannot be separate from the infinite. We are the power, we are the presence, we are the light, we are the life of the divine. This is our core identity. And as I accept this as my identity more and more, I call upon myself into the practice of a greater wholeness, to be love, to be light, to be life, despite the appearance of uncertainty and paradoxical experiences. For I know that not a single one of us is defined by experiences. I open up to accept the wholeness more, to be love, to be light, to be life. I let go. I let God trust and know that as I embrace a way of life that invites me to be rather than do, that I am enhancing the quality of my experience. And I trust this to be so for each and every one of us. And I do so with a grateful heart overflowing as I allow this gratitude to well up and express in its perfection. I simply welcome the good that is assured. I let it be so. I release, trust, and know, and I affirm it by saying, and so it is. Embrace the stillness. Embrace the night. Embrace the spirit.
making his way to the platform is the president of our board of directors. Please welcome William Summers.
I don't know if you remember, but a couple of weeks ago we were just chatting in your office, and something came into my awareness about classes. And if you don't mind, I'd like to share it with our community,
Have at it.
because I thought it was a pretty meaningful thing, at least for me.
Great.
Okay, so we take classes, and variety of reasons. We want to increase our spiritual awareness. We want to change the circumstances of our life. And if that's the only reason that you take a class, trust me, it's well worth taking that class. But what popped up into my awareness as I was talking to Reverend Jonathan was that something else happens that I never hear talked about when taking a class. And what that is, at least for me, while I'm taking that class, I realize that a much deeper emotional connection happens between me and the people that are in the class with me. And it does fade a little over time, but the thing is, it never disappears. So I see many people out here that I've already taken classes with, and so we say good morning, shake a hand, give a hug. There's always something just a little bit deeper because of the experience that we have shared. Now, we've got a lot of classes coming up, and in fact, my wife and I are taking one with Reverend Jonathan on prayer, but we have a lot of other really good classes, and we don't have any fly-by-night teachers here. We have really excellent teachers. And so if you're looking just to expand your awareness or change your life circumstances, take the class. If you want to establish a deeper emotional connection with the people in your community, something that really touches your heart, then for gosh darn sakes, take that class. Now, something else that's also come into my awareness is I don't like taking a class sitting outside when it's 100 degrees. I just don't like that. Or in the winter, sitting out in the dark when it's cold. I like to have a nice, comfortable building to be in to take this class. It's going to work a lot better for me. So I support this community, and the way I support it is I give automatically every week, but you can scan the QR code, you can text to 73256, you can write a check, you can drop cash in there. If you're online, we have a button that you can click on. Many ways you can support this community. So do like me, support the community, and next month, I'll see you in class.
Thank you, William. As the baskets go around, you feel free to move your body as we sing our giving song.
I circulate my love right now. I circulate my love.
Circulate my love right now. I circulate my love.
Circulate my love right now. I circulate my love.
I circulate my love right now. I circulate my love.
And it returns to me, multiplied abundantly. Circulation across the nation. It's a love vibration around the world and beyond. I circulate my joy right now. I circulate my joy.
I circulate my joy right now. I circulate my joy.
I circulate my joy right now. I circulate my joy.
I circulate my joy now. I circulate my joy.
It returns to me, multiplied abundantly. Circulation across the nation. It's a love vibration around the world and beyond. I circulate my gifts right now. I circulate my gifts.
I circulate my gifts right now. I circulate my gifts.
I circulate my gifts.
I circulate
offering is one of our magnificent prayer chaplains, Sherry Hoffman.
Right, all that wonderful energy that we just created. Let's take all that love and appreciation and put it in our hands and point it at those beautiful baskets of gifts that we have collected and say our blessing together. We bless these gifts, and we see these gifts going out and blessing our community and the world. And so it is. Amen.
So it is. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's find out what's happening here at Unity of Tucson. Roll it!
It's Sunday, August 27th, 2023, and here's what's happening at Unity of Tucson. Join us for the Unity World Day of Prayer beginning at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, September 13th, and continuing for 24 hours. Submit your prayer intentions in advance and also plan to join us for events throughout the day. Get all the details on the event listing in our calendar at unitytucson.com. Immerse yourself in 2 hours of bliss at our next Community Life event on September 16th beginning at 3 p.m. The event begins with activities designed to deepen connection, followed by an hour of sound healing with divinely inspired sound healer Anya Sarah. Enjoy the full session for only $35. Advanced registration is encouraged and the event is limited to adults age 16 and over. Gary Lynn Floyd, one of the preeminent singer-songwriters in the New Thought movement, will be with us in concert right here at Unity of Tucson on Sunday, September 24th at 1 p.m. We expect a sellout show, so be sure to secure your seat now. Express your gratitude for our beautiful spiritual center where we are nourished by purchasing tickets to attend the November 10th Gratitude Gala, An Evening Under the Stars. It will be a night packed full of love, joy, and fun, fun, fun. You won't want to miss it. You can register for all these events and classes in the Desert Light Book and Gift Store or online at unitytucson.com. Is Unity Tucson the spiritual home for you at this point in your journey? Have you considered becoming an official member of Unity of Tucson? If you're interested in learning more about Unity of Tucson and what membership means, join Dr. Jonathan on Saturday, September 23rd at 2 p.m. for our next quarterly membership orientation meeting. You can join in person or via Zoom. RSVP by sending an email to revjonathan@unitytucson.com. Unity Tucson has a vibrant and full schedule of events. Find out more about everything happening here on our website, unitytucson.com. And make your week magnificent.
Yes. So there's a thing that has unfolded in the last week. If you could bring up the next slide. There's this opportunity that we are now calling Dance Zen. Dance Zen. Get it? It's like dancing, Dance Zen. A new thought dance experience. Why did we change the name of what formerly was called Transcendence? Because we found out this week that Transcendence is trademarked, so we cannot use it. I looked this up. This is not trademarked. It is the best I've come up with so far, and I'm going to roll with it for a while. But the next Dance Zen experience with Sherry Hoffman is this coming Saturday, the 2nd of September at 6 p.m. In Harmony Hall. It's an opportunity to just be free and express yourself and let go of those limitations I was talking about today, and just go for it. I also want to acknowledge anyone who may have... What am I trying to say? So if you are part of Mental Muscle, if you signed up for Mental Muscle, I sent out an email this week and I asked that you please respond so that I was assured that you got the email. If you have not responded or you did not get the email, please make sure to reach out to me and let me know. Also, there are 2 spots still available for Mental Muscle. If you would like to start with me for 16 weeks of a boot camp for your mind, a spiritual boot camp, starts tomorrow at 7 a.m. entirely on Zoom. There's 2 spots available. You can register for that in the Desert Light Book and Gift Store. Also, today is our monthly potluck, so please do join us in Harmony Hall following the celebration as we gather as a community and enjoy each other's company and get to know each other a little bit more. Today's prayer chaplains in service are Laura Cass and Sherry Hoffman. They will be available to you here in the sanctuary after the celebration today. If you would like a moment of prayer, you can also submit your prayer intentions by sending them to prayer@unitytucson.com, or you can submit your prayer intentions in the intention box, which is in the lobby, by writing out one of the forms. And that's it. So there we are. If it seemed like something wanted to be said, I don't know what it was, so I'm going to continue on with something else. I would like to extend my magnificent heartfelt gratitude to everybody who made today possible. Let's first acknowledge and thank Sherry Hoffman for guiding us in meditation today, also blessing the offering today. I want to say thank you to our keepers of the flames, Mary Alls and Laura Cass, as well as Laura Cass is our providing our reading, our affirmation, and guiding us in prayer today. I want to say thank you to William for leading us in our sharing time today. Yes. Also, our entire hospitality team, our greeters, our ushers, we cannot do this without this magnificent group guiding us each week. Our technical team back in the back, grateful to have Jake back. Welcome back, Jake. And Rowan and Jim and Kyle, grateful for all of you and your service. Our glorious team of musicians, Linda, Raphael, Paul, and Aaron, and William, Reverend William as well. Grateful to have you joining us on the last song. And let's please give it up for our magnificent featured artist today, Armand Dertadian. Oh, here they come! It's the March of the Children. They're going to come up and tell us what they were up to today. They just keep walking through the door. So Jessica is making her way up to join us to let us know what happened in the youth program today. Woo. Okay, here they come. There you go.
Hello, everybody.
This is Jessica Brunk.
Hello.
She runs our youth and family ministries.
Yes, and sorry, I'm very hot and sweaty because we chose to have snack outside today. Lots of fun, but lots of sun. Hold on just 1 second left. So we had so many friends back today. A couple are still lingering back there with Miss Debbie, but we had 10 kids today. Woo. So it was an awesome morning. Yay! Yes. And oh my gosh, we had so much fun today. I took a ton of pictures, but we worked on our Play-Doh restaurant, which I will not tell you anymore because Logan has more to share about that, and I don't want to ruin it for her like I did last week, if you recall. And we played word games where you guess and fill in the blank. We colored. We played Jenga, and if some of you wrote on our Jenga blocks and you gave us like affirmations to say and fun things to do, I skipped around the room 3 times. It was a busy morning. So anyway, we just really enjoyed having the big group back. So it was a great morning. Thank you. And Logan has something to share with you. Would you like me to hold it for you? Okay.
So I need to show them.
Okay.
So we have lettuce with, so we have one with radishes, one with fruit, and one with sausages and just lettuce. And this is how much dollars to pay. So it says $10.
Okay.
This is our menu, and it's $10, and you get salad, the meal, and blueberry pie. So it's kind of a great deal.
Quite the little entrepreneur.
Oh, hold on. Tessie wants to say something too, Logie.
I love my mom.
Aww.
Her mama is here. Okay, one more thing, Logie, and then we got to give the microphone back.
So this is where the ladders are and the drinks. And the last thing, and this one where all the desserts are. And this one's where it says $10. And wait, I passed the page. Where is the page?
Oh, that's the most important page right there.
And then here.
Oh, it says I love you with a heart.
And then this one.
Yeah, so come visit our restaurant if you're interested.
She's quite the little entrepreneur. I love it. As we complete our time here, let's join together and state out loud the words of this divine awareness prayer. I am infinite light. I am infinite love. I am infinite power. I am infinite presence. Wherever God is, I am. Wherever I am, God is. And so it is. Amen. Celebrate with me. Here we go.
have a